Hello, everyone. Hope everyone is having a good evening. Hope everyone is excited because I know I am. We are going to be playing through Anthology of the Killer. It is a very interesting game. A little bit of backstory. This game was developed by a group of people, one of which is most notable for being the developer of the game Space Funeral, which was an RPG Maker indie game that came out quite a long while ago. I believe that developer's name is the Catamites, but they make very surreal, very psychologically interesting stories. Space Funeral was a very interesting RPG Maker game with a lot of humor, kind of like crass here and there. Um, and unfortunately, the other developers are escaping me at the moment. But Anthology of a Killer is going to have a very similar kind of energy to it. Um, so I don't know too much about this game, or series of games rather, because it's more of a collection of games that there's like kind of like an order to, if that makes sense. But the anthology is all of them bundled together. And you might see that the first one that we're going to play through is going to be called Voice of the Killer. So there's that. But the general premise, as far as I understand it, is that we're going to be playing as a young woman by the name of BB, who, from what I understand, needs to go around and collect materials for her zine for her to sell. And every time that she tries to go out and do this, she gets involved in the shenanigans, circumstances, and bad times revolving around a serial killer, or it might be more than one serial killer. Again, I don't necessarily know. There is a content warning on this stream. There's going to be crass, crude, foul language pretty frequently. Uh, Given the fact that there's going to be serial killers involved and stuff, so there's probably going to be graphic violence and stuff, and there like casual drug use and conversation will likely occur as well. Very college-esque kind of edgy humor, possibly. Just something to be aware of going into it. But this is mostly supposed to be a horror comedy. That's an interesting merging core. But it's supposed to be a horror comedy. And with that said, let me just move us right to the game, which takes us to the little loading screen. And hey, Gildy, I hope you're doing well. And just to remind folks, make sure if you are not following Gilded Tongue, then you should be. I'm going to give you a shout out. I spelled that wrong. I'm so sorry. Let me spell that correctly. My finger messed up. But yes, if you're not following Gilded Tongue, then you should be. And presumably sometime this weekend, I will be joining Gilded Tongue again for another dual kind of stream on their Twitch channel. Presumably playing one of my favorite games, I hope. But I definitely recommend that you follow them anyway, just to be sure. So let me get the volume going. I'm going to probably adjust the volume, so it's probably not too loud for folks. But yeah, so we're going to be starting this anthology, and it has kind of controller support, so we'll see how things go. But I think this is mostly meant to be played with keyboard and mouse. But this is literally the screen that it opens up on. It's the coming thing. All the young people love it. Anthology of the Killer. Opening night. They say Voice of the Killer is the first one. I kind of thought there'd be more people here. Some very pop artish kind of art style. This would be the cover of the first game in the collection. So let's just jump right into it. Voice of the Killer. And there's our protagonist, BB, right there. Strange Town series, Voice of the Killer. Hey y'all, welcome to the new issue of my zine of strange occurrences. I'm sorry that it's been a while, please forgive me, I had to finish my exams. I've also been busy at work due to the events I shall relate. I've been working in the call center of the famous insurance company Life Contracts. Things here have been extremely chaotic, or should I say, agile and flexible. MS Paint Core, you know what, I like that. Very MS Paint Core. That's right, your correspondent has become a working girl, learning all kinds of exciting corporate lingo. And so we can kind of control BB like this. Seems to be no object occlusion of some sorts. The bus is gone. I'm tempted to bail, but won't get paid until I can make it through probation, and I promised I'd have color pictures next issue. I am committed. Okay. These little eyeball bubbles, I suppose, are inner thoughts that we can trigger. The company building is next to the sea, which would be nice if it didn't smell like piss. Night and day, the waves make an awful sound, like a vast mouth breathing. This is said to be the result of geology, the baleful silence. I don't know if I would call geology baleful science. Forward, 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 urgent. I can't see you. Are you still real? Were you ever real? It's 3 a.m. I'm alone in the office, but soon the day will start, and I will see you again soon. Your call target today is 100. If you cannot hit it, I will need to have you escorted from my life. Sincerely, Line Manager Liney. Officially, my job is to cold call people from a list of potential customers, but some days nobody ever gives me the list. Where's the list? Who manufactures the list? I've been trying to figure it out so I won't get fired. Well, her job kinda sucks already. Inside, it's always busy and panicked feeling, and nobody wants to talk to me. Sign of a vibrant company culture. Everything smells like carpet. Behind the closed doors, I hear footsteps and chatter. Not cold call? Yeah, cold calling sucks. And hey, Akanto, hope you're having a good, evening. We literally just started. Very kind of trippy and psychedelic. But it's still interesting. I guess everyone wears these sheets in the office as a confidentiality requirement. Mine hasn't arrived yet, although when I gave HR my address, they promised they would visit me soon. Let's see. BB's desk. 5 leads, far below the call target my supervisor requested. The day's work of managing expectations begins. Hello, this is BB, representative of the prestigious Life Contracts organization. Have you considered your coverage of late? But who gave you this number? Never call me again. Retro 90s camera movement? Oh yeah, absolutely. Greetings, this is Life Contracts. We have a fabulous offer for you. An offer from the stars. Would you perchance enjoy hearing more? No! Aye! Beep, hello. The voice on the other end starts speaking immediately and intently in a low voice. You are unable to make out any of the words. Aware that you are being monitored for time, you gingerly hang up after 4 minutes. Dead. You're dead. You're going to die. It will happen to you. So, why not talk to Life Contracts? Boy, who wrote these scripts. Low rattling choke, and then they hang up. Edward, I can't make love to you. I'm a priestess of Baal. Well, I hope this one isn't picked for call listening. Where are you people calling from? Wasn't this line deactivated years ago? Oh, God. Every day these leads get worse. Well, time for a coffee break. Okay, well, I thought I needed to find the list of targets for her to call. But I guess it's coffee break time. Oh boy, my very own zine distro. That's what I thought as well. But whenever I go to copy the copy room, the printer queue is already booked up and everybody's making those expensive color copies. New start tomorrow, colleagues. I'm sure you're aware, as it's been several tough years for life contracts. The freakish and unexplained high murder rate in this city continues to blah 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 margins, blah blah blah, exciting new challenges. As such, we're very excited by the long-awaited restructuring of our call center department to be accomplished. Blah blah blah. Sincerely, General Manager Jenny. Interesting. Remember, we don't pay out if the corpse is unidentifiable. Management. Oh, hey, Narcotis! Thank you for following! Oh my goodness, thank you so much! I recognize you from the same community that I'm in, with Gildy and... not Gildy, with, Riggy and DZ. I hope you're having a great evening. Are those, I don't think they're butts, I think they're... blood-splattered photocopies, is what I think they are. And also, I just met my 250 follower goal. So, that is super awesome. I'm super glad to have met that. I think that just... I've been at that goal for quite a while. Hey! Great to see you, Narcotis. I hope you're doing well. Policemen roam the back corridors. I wear an intent inspection and sip copy to remain inconspicuous while I'm wandering around. Their motionless faces continue staring out to sea. The noise of the waves mixed with the background murmur of the call center. I see some things that could be seals move through the waves. Interesting. I tried the door to the dialer room, but it won't open. Am I supposed to be able to get in here? Didn't they say I'd get a key in the mail? Okay. Keywords that could be, yeah. Complaints department, huh? I suppose that is an awful lot of complaints. Boxes of complaints seem to absorb the sound around me. Back here are older wallpapered passages from the building used to belong to someone else. Feels like it's been forgotten about, but someone is still watering the plants, I guess. The door locks behind me. That's not good. Employees of the month, huh? Lost boardroom. Proud to announce that we have succeeded in winning the call handling contract for all the activities to last till Q3. Existing staff must be gradually familiarized with the new process in order to not cause alarm. Police will be on staff for all instances and have agreed to use our ice room for this purpose. I can't tell how recent these are. The attached charts are indecipherable and look like they come from archaic 3D modeling software. Interesting. Actions. More hand sanitizer, access to the bay. Route will commence from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. Watch out for something. But hey, I guess I got a card key. I guess I can hold on to this until my real one arrives. There's a crude draw or marking of a key on the surface, but I can't see any name. Well, hey, okay, we got a key. On my way back, I open one of the file cabinets. Rubber bands, staples, documents about nothing I'm familiar with. There's still no one around. I try the card key on the door, but it won't unlock. Nobody's around to help. At the other end of the hallway, I think I hear a murmur. Did the eyes shift? They might have. When I step inside, the lights are dimmed and the murmuring grows louder, more excited. I feel they're talking about me and try to walk through faster. Okay, they're actually coming for me now. It's a little freaky, I'm not gonna lie. Whoa! Whoa, okay. Okay. I didn't see that coming. I jumped. Let's not go into the ominous darkness. Whoa. Okay. Okay. You want me to go this way? I get it. I'm going this way. Okay, that's a wall. It's not good. I'm not being able to go further. You felt this way about 2/3 during your retail work shift too, especially when management starting pushing to get the shelves looking good for... I know that feeling for sure. There's nowhere else for me to go in this way. Ominous darkness, not to be confused with eternal darkness, right? It's not letting me go anywhere else. Am I supposed to get caught by them? They're not following me back here. I have played Eternal Darkness. I've beaten it at least twice. Well, I got grabbed. Are you sorry for the things you've done? When I escape from the bag, I find myself in a crowded sub-office somewhere in the depths of the building. It's filled with policemen using it as a temporary lounge. Nobody's paying much attention to me. I guess it's catch and release for now. You can trust me, I'm the cool policeman. Check out these yo-yo tricks. Did you ever hear of a band named Fugazi? You look like someone I once strangled in a dream. Does something smell like blood in here, or is it just me? Haha, ignore that. I'm quirky, but I get the job done. I don't know if I would ever want to interact with a quote-unquote quirky police officer. What is Fugazi? I don't know what that might be. Wow, I can't believe it's the cool policeman. He has top clearance rate in the whole city since none of the bodies are ever found. Do you think I could get an autograph? Jeez, I hope not. Now I don't recognize where I am at all. Is this another department of the call center? Other employees are walking slowly through a doorway at the end of the hall. Oh, it's like a super influential 90s post-punk band from DC? Really? I get the feeling that there might be a lot of obscure references in this series of games like that. Because I had never heard of that band at all. I get the feeling that Moss Salamander would like this game. If anyone remembers, I've streamed some of Moss Salamander's games before as well. I go through another door. This one's filled with managers. Shredded paper fragments cover the floor, and everything smells of disinfectant and warm rubber. Wait, are these the call list I was looking for? I look through and see the names of dead people, missing people, family, strangers, friends, numbers, home addresses. This might not be my department. You're suddenly hit with the impression that this should be on a 90s MTV with an obscure song being played to it. You know, I kind of get that exact same vibe. Like, back when MTV was cool. That's an interesting, boundary break that's occurring right there. Boy, the rate is so high these days. They're saying the rate is going to go up even further. We'll certainly need the extra space for all of them. I'm glad we figured out how to make money from the rate. Did you hear? He's coming to visit later on. I hear he's very picky about what he sees. We'll do our best to make everything just right for him. I'm so excited that we finally get to meet him. Boy, that's ominous. We welcome the killer. Yeah! This would fit in as a show after The Head. Okay, so if every time I get caught, I return here. Someone behind the desk is enjoying his own voice while pretending to talk to me. I carefully deflect all queries. Rule number 1 of making a zine is never talk to the police. Hey, that's a good rule. This is definitely like some obscure Adult Swim at 1 a.m. stuff. You know, that is definitely, I think, a lot more of the vibe for sure. Like, that fusion of classic MTV cartoon eras with, like, the early obscure Adult Swim cartoons. I'm just gonna go this way again and just go a different way. Unless it won't let me. Okay, so yeah, if I go there, I'm just gonna get grabbed again. Let's go this way instead. This is very trippy and psychedelic, and I'm kind of grooving on it. Wait, it put me back at the original doorway. Did I ever place... No, but I do know that Catamites helped develop these games. I had mentioned that earlier, actually. I did watch a playthrough of Space Funeral, so I know how psychedelic and peculiar that could be. The second dialer is next to the ocean again. Outside, it's darker than before. The low chatter of voices sounds just like the sea. Suddenly I feel relaxed, as though I'm where I need to be. I find a desk that's not mine, but what waits for me, the call scripts are written out phonetically. After a while, I stop trying to work out what they really mean and lose myself in the rhythm of my own voice. Say ASEO CK me res et EE may I? I wonder if that means anything. That night, I had a dream that felt like waking from a dream. Clumps of hair were growing at so non-linear space. Yeah, it definitely feels that way. And now we're in a dreamscape. Clumps of hair were growing out of the sand. I tried pulling them up and only found more hair. My coworkers were calling me from further down the beach. This is some neon Genesis Evangelion beach aesthetic. A tongue. In the room above the waves, the management are getting ready to eat. There's a place for me. The food looks so enticing that I want to cry. The meat of the tongue is almost too pliant to cut through, but my knife is very sharp. I carve out a square and put it into my mouth. It's delicious, dripping with wet fat and juice. I chew and chew, but it never seems to diminish in my mouth. And when I wake up, my pillow is gone. Oh no, you ate your pillow. My lips are chapped and sore. It's 3 a.m. I check my phone. I have a new message. Apparently the office burned down last night and will be closed indefinitely. They don't know whether anybody was inside. As I had not completed my basic training, I would not be eligible for severance pay. Did I do it wrong, or was that's the end of the episode? Question mark? So yeah, that was the first one, Voice of the Killer. Very interesting and psychedelic for sure. So let me go to the next one. I almost kind of have... Okay, so the next one is Hands of the Killer. Let me go ahead and update the stream. Uh-oh. We got a spammer. But SwearyBot took care of them. Okay. So Hands of the Killer has been updated. Let's just move on to it. They say that later on BB will drop by. Is that so? I'd like to meet BB. Well, in the main game segments, we're playing as BB. Hands of the Killer. Let's see how this one goes. Interesting. I wake up one night to a horrible scream outside my window. Sounds like the killer is at it again. The moon is high, but I'm feeling restless. The apartment block's protective shutters have gone down for the night. Maybe a walk around is what I need. Progress on my new zine remains slow, as I keep falling asleep in the middle of the sentences. On the other hand, the effect is kind of funny. Is this what it means to be new wave? BB's report. Note on the strange mask. Recently, strange masks have begun appearing in the city. What's with these masks? Nobody wants to talk about them. In my opinion... okay. No more sleep. Oh, I went through the door. Aside from night noises, this part of the city has many amenities. The rooms here are cheap because of all the murders. Unfortunately, rent is due all the same. Another reason for the cheap rooms is the antiquated security system. Far beneath today's superior anti-murder technology, this elevator will be unusable till morning. The shutters are scored and pitted on both sides with knife marks. Sounds like BB lives in a really awful world. Every week, someone leaves one of these flyers in the hall. I often wonder what it is about this town that leads to such a weird advertising sensibility. The television is playing a foreign drama, but I can sort of work out what's meant to be happening. Interesting. Aside from the... Okay. Friendly reminder, owner's not liable for what happens in the tunnels. Soft vibration runs through the floor of the laundry room. None of the other residents are around at this hour, but all the washers are in use, day and night. Was that public broadcasted foreign erotica? I think it was meant to be like a vaporwave soap opera. At least that's my guess on it. Through the window of the washer, I can see a grayish, pulpy sludge churned indefinitely by the big spinners. Guess someone wants it very clean. Gosh, that sounds a little foul. I've never been able to find out who pulled off the tunnel cover to start with. Although the joke is that the owners thought it would be cheaper than building a fire escape. The air from inside is inviting and cool. Okay, I guess we're going in. If I have sludge, I want the cleanest sludge possible. You know what? Fair, I suppose. So now we're doing some Metal Gear Solid shenanigans. Climb out into some kind of storeroom. Dead moths under my feet. Those here look to be around 20 years old, which is not enough, so I'll have to go deeper. Or Deus Ex, take your pick. Man, the first Deus Ex is so good. At this point, I feel like I should explain something about the nature of the building. Like many cities, this one underwent many changes over the years. There was an industrial period, a retail period, a service period, etc., until gradually the things it manufactured became too abstract and indecipherable to easily be summarized in any way. I still hope to find out what they are myself someday. Anyway, with each change in the economy, the building was adapted to a new shape, new rooms added or closed off, each later draped piecemeal over the last, to form new spaces where opportunity might live. That sounds kinda nightmarish. Speaking of which, ZZ says the sweet spot for nostalgic material is 30 to 40 years old, or old enough to smell like death. I think the internet is accelerating her tendencies towards the gothic. Personally, I've always been more about true crime. Jeez. How morose. I displaced some spiders and rummage in the box. Result? 3 copies of Patch Adams on VHS, a jigsaw puzzle with a picture of a boat, miscellaneous plastic shit. I don't feel like carrying any of it back. The search goes on. Three copies of Patch Adams? The laughs never end. When I pick up the Bort doll, a layer of greasy rubber skin comes off and sticks to my hands. The bulbous eyes roll crazily around. No good to sell, but maybe could be scavenged for parts? I make a mental note. Come along, Bort! This is almost... Can apartments be considered liminal spaces? Box of knives, barely used. A t-shirt reading Blomby Dog. An abstract plastic toy with horribly detailed rubber feet that's covered in tufts of synthetic hair. Depends on the apartment. I suppose so. Anything with an entrance-exit can, in your opinion? Interesting. The clothes rack seems to contain nothing but denim overalls with a smiling clown embroidered decal. They're covered with a soft layer of translucent mold that seems to be coming from the clown. That's nightmarish. I keep looking through the heaps. A clear plastic pyramid with a racing car inside. A pile of cassette tapes with the insides pulled out and knotted together. A copy of Steely Dan, live at the Gibbous. I push onward. Steely Dan, or, as JoJo would put it, Dan of Steel. Another box. This one says Stickies and shows a smiling woman being encased in green slime. It's being held tightly shut with electrical tape. Jeez. You don't mind Steely Dan? I don't recall if I've ever heard any of Steely Dan's music, personally. So far, tonight's pickings have been slim, so I keep moving, and gradually find myself in a place I've never been before. The corridors are narrow, but still feel lived in somehow. The rooms get closer, clutter more deliberate. Which, you know, would annoy George Carlin? To be fair, a lot of things seem to annoy George Carlin. Flyers for a local bingo night have been left in the hall. Potted plant that's still alive. Old but well-used office supplies that don't have too much dust. Hear soft whispering behind the walls. I almost feel like I might be in the back rooms. But probably not really. Why are the walls and ceilings carpeted? I think in this instance, this might be what BB was talking about, and how like different sections of the apartment complex all seem to have been designed around like specific economic functions of the city that changed with the times constantly. So like, I think that's just to explain on how like weird a lot of the decorations are. This part feels like a waiting room, but there's no one else around. Fresh magazines have been left on the couches. Who are they expecting here exactly? Steely Dan's most famous song does bring an image of a tied-up cop, a psychopath, straight... Oh, wait! That was, that song. That was Steely Dan? I mean, I get the reference. That reference is to the movie, Reservoir Dogs. But the name of the song is escaping me. Is your name Donald Duck? No. I've got it. In that case, you must be Mickey Mouse. No. Your name is not Mickey Mouse, then you must be Donald Duck. Please don't waste my time with insults to my intelligence. Anyway, come inside. Hell, don't kidnap me. I'm not worth anything monetarily. Cough, cough. What is this? It's my first Strangle Victim doll, circa 1971, in surprisingly good condition. I did believe we used up the last of them sometime before. I wonder where they found it. What? I'm not a doll. Really? You're dressed very similarly, though. Hell, don't strangle me. I'm a real person. That's disturbing. A stupid coincidence. Oh, they were a wonderful toy. If you opened up the torso, they had little plastic innards, and if you stood on their throats, their eyes would really bulge. Sometimes I think that's what first put me on the path of pure research, before administrative duties began to take up my time. Cough, cough. In truth, it makes little difference. It's like everybody in the college, I lost the ability to distinguish people from dolls some time ago. That's a condemnation. I wonder why I'm talking to a toy. Old age. Soon I'll ask a member of the staff to come in and carve off the skin or the coating or what have you. You can figure out what lies inside. The path of pure research is long. In the meantime, there are committee meetings. Goodbye, goodbye. Wait, this is a college? College of what? Luckily, they seem to have a very abstract notion of how knots work. But I guess that's academia for you. I better vamoose. Tried to keep track of how far I was being carried, but lost count around the 11th flight of stairs. From the window, the town has a postcard aspect, like the view from a penthouse. Has my fashion sense really been ripping off an obscure and horrible doll line for all these years? There's nothing new under the sun. They look too mutilated to be worth anything, so I guess the terrible secret dies with them. I hear drilling noise and breaking glass, and everything smells like sawdust and wet paint. A feeling like a work in progress. Something tells me I should stay out of people's way. The elevator's rusted shut, but at least I'm still in the network of the same antique security system. The buttons on the panel look like they've been melted down by acid. Alright. Is this a teacher's lounge? Anatomical diagrams crudely painted with astrology symbols are scattered around the desk and walls, along with ashtrays and moldy, week-old coffee. Posters on the wall. Oh! Gotta leave. Welcome, Bon Vivant. This demonstration apartment has been carefully set up for you to practice new techniques as though in the wild. Please restore all equipment to the proper place after using. For a college of wizards? We'll maintain window ledges and ladders just out of sight, allow easy access. Try softly tapping at the window from outside until someone comes to throw open the curtains for extra effect. The uncanniness of the intrusion will buy you some more time. Posters on the wall for a school production of Melmo the Wanderer. Bring your own special effects. Use knives and drills for sale or exchange. Tuition in Esperanto, the language of the future. I mean, that's what the creator hoped, at the very least. This room's full of crude homemade machines made of junk that's creaking and shifting. I'm not sure how many of them are meant to work. Everything's just heaps of knives and balsa wood. Oh gosh. Boy, it's been a while since I got one of my hands with one. Now let me think, is this a Phillips? Okay, so that's amusing. If I get caught... Oh, come on. Boy, they went all out on renovating the place. Beneath the wallpaper, outlines of sealed doorways can be seen. Decades of staff rhodas peel off the walls as I move by. I saw history in the body of a murdered convict, while Isaphael saw in a decapitated king. Creating history is the duty of all murderers, and in the tools they hack with, we see that reflection of a new age that is to come. To perfect murder, we must create a new universe devoted exclusively towards that purpose. We must also consider the possibility that we live in it already. To imagine new society is to call it into being. You must first prepare a list of bylaws. Oh gosh. Photographs mark the inauguration of the college on the evening of the Great Vision. What's the point of portraits when everyone's wearing a mask? The future is obviously Spanglish. Oh goodness. My goodness, what's this? Having survived the workshops of necessity, I now find myself straddled in the new world of the aesthetic. Haha, such are the thoughts of the general public as they make their cautious entrance into history. The central ideas of an age must be nurtured after all. Paint and wood are nesting materials by which they attain the heat to thrive. Why waste kicking down the doors? The House of Art has many windows. Might have given me the hiccups. The new age will be theatrical, and thus we stand to learn from theater, an empty space menaced by an ominous facade. The fourth wall is the entrance to an alleyway, the length which extends through all time. Haha, think of the new buildings we'll need to have alleyways like this. Goodness. How am I supposed to read if I'm being chased? In our video lab, we can covertly influence the culture by filming our death fantasies and releasing them as commercial horror films. Our Bloody Night franchise has sold thousands of copies. Bloody Night? Aren't those shitty direct-to-video horror films that everybody watches to make fun of? Everybody what now? So the apartment is home to a cult of people who wish to establish a society of artistic murder? Society? Universe? Oh, I got grabbed. Can art be a murder weapon? My thesis project will finally resolve this ancient question using a pattern and form. It overwhelms and then destroys the subject's own sense of psychic and physical coherence. It just feels like a stupid music video. Sure thing, Guildy. Please take care. Let's see. Okay, I went in a circle then. Sound sculpture masked the sound of distant screams, approaching steps. As such, I believe they will be very popular. Of course, ultimately such noises are the foundation of a far greater symphony, but there's no shame in being the midwife to a dream. These guys are all losers, is the impression that I'm being left with. A calm study nestles in the middle of the horrible murderer compound. Respectable leather-bound tomes line the walls. An aura of propriety seems to muffle all sound. I think my nose is bleeding. Copies of the owner's publications, including Introduction to the Western Canon, Advanced studies in the Western canon. Whatever happened to the Western canon? And Western canon rocks out. Abridged edition for teens and study groups. Picture of the hooded man I met when I woke up. The prestigious Dr. Zhu wows attendants at an academic soiree with his all-embracing knowledge of the cultural world. These are the uncool nerds of secret murder cults. That's definitely the impression I'm getting. I wonder, is it sentimental I held on to all the aspects of my old career? I always wanted to live inside a tomb. Talking doll, you've been wandering around the pieces of the world that was. Do you like a visit to the world that is to come? Oh gosh. The interest of homicide has always been symbolic. Real death has no consequence, and in fact is rather kitsch. Haha, what matters is the new world we can glimpse in this idea. What is the utopia of murder? I don't know, but you seem like a loser. Sun and moon, knives, ropes, building in clouds, still streets, dark blue fields, trembling and horrible suspense that envelops all things, changing them completely while leaving them unchanged. The new world will need laws and art. We can teach them to be the hand that guides the knife, the hands of the killer. Did you know I saw him once? It was a night like this. I knew my life would have to change. Where are you? My eyesight is quite bad these days. Haha, I haven't moved like this in quite a while. None of us tend to leave campus these days. You know how it is. As you think and think, the thicket grows denser. I can still hear that flat, droning voice behind me, but these corridors seem quieter and more familiar. I could swear I once found a lost cache of troll dolls inside one of these rooms. Definitely a loser. You wanted the puppet master? Like the old New Moon Films puppet master? Door is locked, but looks more maintenance-y than the others. A sticker on the door says, "Unseal with hallway access panel." Am I near the location of the long-lost air conditioner controls? Old puppet master. I don't know if... I figure it might be the same thing. I don't know. I think you're referring to the film franchise, right? There's a lever on this, so it's probably the thing that opens the door. I'm getting sick and tired of being chased by murderers all night, and I'm not going to look into this any further. Ah, who's there? It's you. My goodness, the years have hardly altered you at all. Mr. Killer, I know you get this a lot, but I'm a huge fan of your work. I would truly like to see it get the critical attention it deserves. Have you ever considered co-authoring a paper? Okay, so... a real serial killer killed these wannabe serial killers. And that's what the killer looks like. And so the cold calling company that we used to work for, they worshipped the killer. They were trying to like make a profit from his murders, is what I'm getting. Like, that's the story that I'm getting so far. Is that the call center worshipped him and tried to make a profit off of his murders, and then this group of reject academics and artistic intellectuals wanted to, like, base a society around him. Oh hey, there he is. Looks kind of like a vulture. There's just a pile of bodies right over there as well. And this is a room just filled with them. You can see a series of B movies based off of this game. Like, I could almost see, like, one of those, kitschy kind of, like, quick, like, short 10-minute series anime. Like, each episode is, like, about, like, 7 to 10 minutes long. Oh! I fell. BB's report. Epilogue. After finding my way inside the event, I was able to get back to the apartment without further incident. Although all night long, strange noises echoed through the pipes. Goodness. The next morning, we totaled up the day's haul. Result: assorted pogs. The killer is back. In pog form. A pamphlet that must have been placed in my pocket somehow. I thought the pamphlet might have been worth something, but ZZ says there are copies lying around inside the bus station for free. So, okay, so this was a pamphlet for this school of killers in our apartment complex. Oh my gosh, they really were just a group of losers, weren't they? Okay. So that is Hands of the Killer finished now. Well, that one had more of kind of a forget night school. What pogs did she get, right? That you're asking the real questions there, Kanto, for sure. So, okay, Hands of the Killer had more of a narrative to it. I liked that. I liked that a lot. And hey, there's the Bort doll. It seems like I'm gonna get the impression that with each game that came out, like the game was gonna get more and more refined. Let me go ahead and update it again. Next one is going to be Drool of the Killer. It does not sound very pleasant. Let me move the mouse out of the way. Bonus tunnels. Let's avoid that for right now. The killer is back, Bart. Or no. I'm trying to do my best Millhouse impression. The killer is back, Bart, in pog form. Okay, so this one's gonna be water themed, I'm guessing. Drool of the Killer. BB's report. In certain locations of the city, there is a bus service that nobody seems to use. I see this bus go by, sometimes when I'm heading at my stop to head into town. The name on the front of the bus just says Tammy. Setting out to solve the mystery, I've bravely tracked the bus to where it's residing, in a little side street just off the main terminal. Nobody in the building had ever heard of Tammy. Bus stop itself looks pretty much like any other, except that the schedule on the board seems to refer to a completely different service. These things happen. The driver is staring fixedly ahead. One, please. It turns out the ticket is not too pricey, which is good news if I ever want to go on this trip again. Where is Tammy anyway? Is it somewhere close? Pretty soon. All this work for a zine, not worth it. I mean, I guess it's what BB likes. I'm not gonna judge her for it, but yeah, definitely seems like she's putting herself at risk for very little gain. Pretty soon, we're on our way. The bus passes through streets I know, but always at odd intersections, just around the corner from busier bus stops, as though hoping someone will get on without realizing. The motion of the bus is so soothing, and it never seems to reach a destination. After a while, the view from the window blurs out of familiarity. Factories, suburban lanes, train yards, vacant lots. I wake up a jolt when the engine turns off, the feeling that I've finally arrived. Get off the bus, it's already evening. I've been left at the door of a lit-up old factory. Plastic tubes sprout out of the building like some kind of weird fungus. The sign above says that I am at Tammy. Right? Tammy Swimming Center Health and Pleasure. I died in 1992. Tammy. Some kind of water park? How nice. Wonder why I haven't heard of it before. There's something off about the tone of the ad copy, but I never claimed to understand the marketing world. So we're going into a haunted water park, is the impression that I'm getting from this now. The lights are on, and I hear noises from inside this late? Well, I guess gyms sometimes open all nights as well. So really, there's nothing usual at all about it. Yes, I agree. You haven't heard of it because it died in 1992. That's funny, yeah. I hadn't even considered that. Inside it's quite spruce, and there's a vague chemical smell. Nameless music fills the air along with the sound of distant splashing. I feel more at home here than I've ever felt anywhere, I think. Man behind the counter is dressed like a copyrighted cartoon mascot, but I'm no snitch. Anyway, it's all for the kids. I decide to buy a season pass. It's extremely cheap, even without the family discount. Yeah, I'm no snitch either. Legally distinct intellectual property free character. I had no plans to swim today, but suddenly the idea seems very charming. Bill's too wrong. Why not? Live a little. The Tammy gift shop carries an array of affordable swimwear. I find my size and continue through the sweating chambers. Alright. A beautiful shimmering patina of damp shines on the slick wet tiles all around. Something sprays me, but I don't mind as fresh towels will be provided later by the management. My emotional needs met, I may now enter the sea. Sounds like she's doing a review of the place. Okay, you have one problem with this game. You cannot drink coffee. I mean, okay, not technically accurate because we did see BB sipping coffee during the first episode. So she did have a coffee sipping pose. I don't know if we want to call it an animation. Inside all of the lockers are casual and business wear, discarded pairs of glasses, wallets and phones, documentation about some kind of furniture company. We are encouraged to help ourselves, a gift by which we remembered Tammy. I'm definitely getting the impression that this is a haunted, like, swim place, and that, like, Tammy is, like, possessing people, and maybe even BB here is falling under Tammy's influence. Tammy cares for health and wellness. Do not run around the pool or she will climb out and kill you with her long wet hands. Obey parents. Wow. In the era of laissez-faire, someone still cares about the little guy. Stirring stuff from Tammy. Yeah, I guess if Tammy drowned in a pool, Tammy's spirit would probably definitely be one who wants people to follow pool rules. Within the pool is a family atmosphere with smiling, wrinkled faces emerging from the brine. Everyone's swimming in time to the rhythm of the piped-in music. I feel my body getting caught in it too. The water's heat is exactly right. It's cute that BB has a little swimming animation as well. Oh hey, is that Tammy right there sinking into the floor? That might have been. The calm evenings of ponds and lilies. Tammy reflects on the chrysanthemum's soft glow to help am drowning, do your homework. My eyes tear up at the beauty of this perfect poem, and also from something in the chemical fog. I kind of feel bad for Tammy. Just a little. It's the chemical fog. Oh boy, I think we just got grabbed by the ghost. I'm in the steam room now. How did I get here? What time is it? Insignificant questions such as these melt away in the punishing beauty of the warm scouring fog. Tammy is here. Oops. Now I'm in the pipe room and I'm being hunted. The others say that as the quickest, I should try leading it away. I wonder what they mean. I feel like I understood it, but then it slipped my mind somehow. Pipes are very colorful and wind throughout the entire complex. At certain times, they're flooded with water or a chemical bath. Of course, one of the problems with the pipes is that once you're inside, there's really nothing else you can do but keep going. This time, yes, the hunger was making me dizzy, so I climbed up to the 4th floor in hopes of finding a vending machine that hadn't already been picked clean. Maybe I'll also find a locker to sleep in. Okay, so we're definitely in some sort of backroom situation. With a ghost. The plaster walls here crumble in the constant wet heat. A strange lichen is growing from the brick underneath, almost resembling neurals from away. I try my luck, but unfortunately, the lichen is not edible. Hey Seth, it's great to see you! We're in the 3rd episode, and this is a very psychedelic kind of MS Paint core style horror comedy game. It's mostly just exploring and navigating mazes, which is kind of fun in its own right. Hasn't really been spooky, but it has been kind of weird and unsettling in places. I've got jumped a little here and there. For some reason, I feel like I better not open this door. From behind it, I hear a continuous, soft quacking. Well, we're gonna have to go there. Oh, nope, it won't let me. I feel like the duck is probably the killer. I begin to get nauseous at this distance from the pool, but it feels like my head is clearing up as well. What am I doing here? How long have I been living in the water park? Also, where did I leave my clothes? The duck being the killer is quite a thing to hear out of context. So, to try and catch you up a little bit, in the first episode, our protagonist, BB, worked at a cold call center that theoretically, I assume, worshipped a serial killer in the city, and they were trying to profit off of the murders that the serial killer did. And then they were like, they had like a group of killers themselves as well. It was weird. And in the second game, we did a late night exploration of the apartment building that BB lives in, and it was a very kind of liminal space kind of thing where the apartment had been built on throughout constant years of economic shift and change. So it was just filled and like at weird Euclidean angles and everything. And we learned that there was a night school being held in the apartment building of a group of intellectually artistic losers who worshipped the killer and tried to perfect the art of murder. But they were all just losers. And then the killer showed up, and it's like this red vulture-looking guy in like a black robe, and he pretty much just killed the entire intellectual cult. In this episode, BB decided to investigate this bus that had this destination called Tammy that no one would talk about. And it took her to this, like, water park, gym kind of location. And basically, there's been, like, a lot of hints that it's this, like, pocket zone that's ruled by this ghost who went by the name Tammy, who drowned in a pool. And, like, for the most part, Tammy has just been, like, mostly chill and okay, but, like, also now she's kind of pulled us into a liminal space as well. And I'm just thinking that the not copyrighted character who is legally distinct might just be a cover for the killer, because they're both birds. Let's see. The carpet underfoot is squishy, but this zone doesn't seem to have been hit as hard as the slow process of tamification. Some printer paper on the floor is headed J.B. Pearson Furniture Company. It's dated last year. Oh, goodness. Oh, hey! A cutscene? In 1992, a shadowy figure held Tammy's head beneath the still surface of a lake. Ever since then, she has been committed to excellence. Yeah, I do see the bird. Many historic buildings have become home to Tammy, whether they wanted to or not. Above all things, she loves the water. Yep, there's another bird right there. So that's definitely the titular killer. In death, Tammy was granted a vision of the new economy. Political scientists refer to this as Economy 2. Water parks play a large, if mysterious, role in the world that is to come. How do you like my paintings? Aren't you happy to be here with Tammy? Okay, so this Tammy does seem to be a bit of a tragic figure. Yeah. Oh. I was reading and then got grabbed again. What a crazy dream. All those streets not covered in water? How surreal. Well, time for another day of swimming around the city and eating raw fish. The television is showing a community theater production of The Rat Whisperers. Wait, I think I've seen this one before. Yeah, we were describing the animation as something like either early MTV or early Adult Swim. Help, I don't want to go to Tammy. I don't want to go to Tammy. In the sauna, the mist feels more choking than before. Heavier, wetter, dark pools of grease solidify on the reflecting walls and puddles on the tile. I think if I touch those, it won't be good. I touch one of the mist people and my hand grips running jelly, slipping and dribbling away from the pone. Huge eyes regard me and then turn away towards the dense patterns of the fog. When I finally reach the pool again, the water's dark and glistens like wet tar. I want to climb in and swim in the pool. What is this place doing to my brain? Is this swimbofication? I'm gonna move my microphone. I need everyone to remember this from now on. Swimbobification. I wonder if our protagonist is psychic. You know, I kind of get the impression that maybe BB is a little bit psychic. Uh, okay, I guess we have to get into the water. Water has a horrible gel feeling and I love it. I can't sense the bottom or see beneath the surface. Something underneath brushes past my leg. I love it here. I never want to leave. Now let's try to escape from Tammy. She's experiencing more things than someone that doesn't have shine. Oh, like the Stephen King book? Or Have Their Third Eye? Is this the way out? I'm in a wet tunnels winding deep in the dark. I feel Tammy's clammy grip upon my ankles and hear her wet voice croaking in my ear. The current pulls me onwards. There's Tammy right there, so let's go this way instead. Oh, there was Tammy right there. Oh, we're swimming again. In the middle of the pipes, I see a piece of old office, leading down beneath the water. The metal walls behind me contract and move closer. When in Rome, then I hold my breath. Atmospherically, I feel like this one might be the most scary of all the episodes so far. I like the atmosphere. Through this last door, I find a closet, filled with cleaning supplies and dusty bottles of chlorine. None of it looks to have been touched for years. Behind me, water pools beneath the door. You like? Help self. I changed, grew, changed past need for these some time ago. Why spoil my lovely mold? Organic's best. Wait, you mean that... Strange psychic factoid. She could be experiencing all of this in her mind while still being physically at the bus stop where she got off the bus. You know, I am willing to make the assumption that that's how this is going to end. I think, because she fell asleep on the bus. So she might wake up from a dream. You mean all this time I've been swimming in an unchlorinated swimming pool? Ouch. I could have gotten a brain disease. I could have got chlamydia. Fuck you and your haunted swimming pool. Oh no, I guess chlorine killed Tammy. Tammy, are you still around? I better get going now. Don't get up, I can see myself out. My escape from the clutches of Tammy successful, nothing else remained but to make the long walk back into town. Since then, everything's been normal with just one odd exception. The bus that went to Tammy now passes by my house. I liked that. I think of the 3 episodes that we've played so far, I enjoyed that one the most. It had a great atmosphere. It had interesting environments. I loved the whole haunted pool idea. The idea that Tammy, as the antagonist of the episode, is a little bit sympathetic, but like also there was plenty of like genuine kind of humor, and like it was just ambiguous to be like no solid conclusive evidence. Like Tammy's paintings of her story definitely reveal that she was killed by the killer, which is a weird sentence to say. The kind of twist is something you enjoy more so when it comes from your own right, or it comes to your own writing. I can definitely understand that. I love doing like small kind of twist like that as well. Okay, so we're moving on to the next one. You can't fool me. This beer is just special effects. Did we really just get the one drinks ticket? I'm gonna go back and see which one is next in progression. I do wish this game had a run button. As cool as it is that this is controller compatible, it would probably be nicer if I could run. That's Hands of the Killer. Okay, so the episode list... I got turned around again. Okay. Come on. Here we go. Here's the episode list. Eyes of the Killer is next. So let me go ahead and change that. Alright, got that updated. Let's see. Have to do strange info while streaming sucks. Yeah, I do wish that there was a category just for like the entire anthology. It's a little silly, but not much else I can do about it. So Eyes was next. Eyes of the Killer. Well, let's see how this goes. One night in autumn, I woke up to find 3 people knocking on my apartment door. They smiled and said they'd come to let me know my big opportunity was close at hand. I said nothing, having expected this for some time. I knew it was my turn to volunteer for the immersive theater. Okay, there's more animation frames in this episode, at least just from the title screen. And we're in first-person perspective again. Now playing Melmo the Wanderer, gripping drama in 1,441 acts. Funded by the Art Appreciators Club. Just gonna peek around here just in case. I don't know, I saw whatever that is and figured might be worth investigating. I'm still remembering swimbofication. That is still stuck in my head from the last episode. Drool of the Killer is my favorite so far, 100%. Sir or madam, greetings. We've been waiting for you for some time. Please head up the stairs. The theater is already in progress. They look like a Roger Klotz looking character. There's just a random bear in this MC Escher non-Euclidean building. Oh. Interesting. dog of strongmen. All is well that begins well. And ends? There will be no end. We are striking the universe. We are arming the world against ourselves. We are organizing a slaughter of scaremen. Interesting. Oh, how much blood, how many sabers and cannon bodies. We are toppling mountains. Is this episode all in first person? The fish rises with a red body in a green pond. Under the arch of heaven, the fisherman travels smoothly in his blue skiff. It is a stubble field where a black rain is falling. It is a brown tree that stands alone. It is a hissing wind that encircles empty houses. Oh, blimey, now this is a rum how do you do? Okay. What the heck? Who invited the sun and the moon to my party? They're killing the vibe. They're freaking out the guests. I know they say it's safe, but I wish they wouldn't let prison man inside the house. That's kind of mean. The towns go quiet one by one. Where is everybody gone? A dark shadow can be glimpsed moving from door to door. I think we have a special visitor. Interesting. Is that referencing the killer? Earning the ire of his father, Prince Fabrizio, who he does not realize is also Beatrice in disguise. Meanwhile, the war to the east continues and the peasants are all dying in the fields, and Count Masco's dinner party has received a most unwelcome pair of guests. Interesting. Scene 46. An episode in the court of Count Masco. Oh, okay. I'm going back now. Is this the shadow of the killer? He thinks it may be likely. Oh no, someone killed Potsy the Mop Girl. I actually liked Potsy. I like that Cockney accent kind of character. How am I meant to party with their constant spinning back and forth? It bugs me. How undignified. How can I make them leave? Maybe it's time to ask a favor from an old friend. So, Masco orchestrated the death of Potsy the Mop Girl? What a jerk. Would it be so bad if I could at least follow the plot? I mean, who would murder a character named Potsy the Mop Girl? I mean, doesn't she have enough? You know what? I agree with Querulous voice. Again, I liked Potsy, even though she only had one line so far. Don't ask me. The stage manager says that none of the actors should know more than their characters do, in order to make things more immersive. Oh wait, are we playing Potsy the Mop Girl now? What does immersive mean anyway? I think it's when they hold your head beneath the water. Jesus. Actually, for our purposes, immersive means an extra $200,000 in art subsidies each year. Hey boss, great show tonight, huh? Girls, what do I say? You have time to lean, you have time to develop an enriching set of psychological motivations based on your characters' backstories. I'll let you return to it. Ugh, not enough to say the lines. I have to have motivation as well? I'm sick of this. One more show and I'm out of here. So, was BB playing as Potsy? I'm a little more confused on that. There's just a bear. I do like how this is mostly in first person. Uh-oh. The bears are multiplying. Alright. Let's see. There are no refreshments for me. I turn around, and it's the bears. This play is so stupid that it's making me obsessed. Who is it that ends up killing my character? I shouldn't care, but now I really want to know. Potsy the Mock Girl, official dialogue lines. Do not steal. Cool blimey, this is a rum how do you do? Death gurgles. Character notes. Potsy is a simple serving maid who loves to mop. She's a bit cheeky but has a heart of gold. Later, she will be violently murdered for plot reasons. ZZ, can you cover for me in the next act? I'm stepping out a few minutes to uncover the mystery of my impending doom. Gee, BB, I don't know. I'm not sure I'm ready to handle all the complex emotional dichotomies that make up the role of Potsy the Mop Girl. Just hold the mop and say the lines. Okay, so now we're back to normal. She'll get over it. Boy, I've barely had a chance to look around this place at all. There was a school trip here once when we were kids, but all I remember is that the dust from the curtains gave me hives. As expected from our civic theater, pieces of history are all around the walls. Actually, I've never seen any of these plays, but presumably someone did. They all seem to have been very well received. The famous poet and founder John Beats is busy spieling to a willing crowd. I think he talked to our class on the trip too, but I can't remember anything he said. Director Basso is at his side as usual. Caesar, Caesar, we who are dead salute you. Dance group is where Director Basso keeps threatening to put me if I miss my lines. Fate worse than death. Although, actually, now I look at them, these costumes are really very chic. There's a bear again. If I can catch up and mix with the next audience group, hopefully I wouldn't have missed too much of the unintelligible symbolist plot. Maybe the guys who plays Count Masco can fill me in. All of the plays about murder and killing, and then there's just cats. How much money is tied up in this thing anyway? Sets, costumes, carpenters, scriptwriters, electricians in perpetual reserve. I never knew so many rich people felt so strongly about art. Cats are just natural murderers. Oh goodness. The next scene is happening below me now. I can't make out what they're saying, but it doesn't look like anyone's on trial for Mop Girl related homicides just yet. Look, here comes our old friend, Mappy. Ha 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 ha. Hiya, kids. Hiya, hiya, hiya. Boy, what a wonderful place. You've really done it up since the last time I was here. Baleful spirit, I conjure and command thee. How can I stop the sun and moon from ruining my dinner party? Question, is this place sponsored by the Nerd Snuff cult? I don't think so. I mean, chronologically, if if the story follows a chronological order, the intellectual artist academy have all been killed by the killer. So I think this theater troupe, this theater company, gets a lot of its funding from subsidiaries. Because director Bosco mentioned that he gets paid $200,000 from the subsidies, which is a lot. You disappoint me. I thought it was a social call. Surely your own powers are proportionate to such a deed, or have you forgotten just how it was you built this house? With courage and skill, you captured the natural prison man and set him to construct you a mighty estate. That's great stuff, and I respect it, but what's the point of having force if you don't use it? It's Group 12 finished with Act 331 now, over. Roger, roger. Tell the progress mimes to move forward onto the next location and start getting the next batch ready to come through. How many people were in the last group to start with anyway? Seems like the volume has substantially reduced. Don't sweat the little stuff, they'll turn up somewhere. Over. Greetings, it's me, Potsy from Scene 46. Hey Travis, no problem. Perfectly fine. I hope that you're having a great evening. Listen, my character got killed off, and I was wondering if the white walls of the cities are always giving off sound, under arcing thorns. Oh, my brother, blind minute hands were climbing towards midnight. Wow, is that so? Amazing. Really makes you think. That's terrific. Thank you, thanks. Oh, hey. Another one of these artistic things. Seems like they're busy. For my next trick, I'll need a member of the audience. Ha 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 ha. Had a very long day at work, and you also didn't get the promotion that you wanted? I'm sorry to hear that, Travis. That sucks. I hope that you'll still have an opportunity for it, though. Like, maybe in the future. Are you sure this is a good idea? I mean, of course, once Prison Man is restored to his old power, you can order him to do away with your opponents. Your own intrinsic natural authority will keep it all under your control. Well, I am pretty impressive. Let me see, it's been, whisper, whisper, whisper. Wait, time out. Was that meant to happen? They'll try to keep me at your level so they don't have to pay you extra. You're gonna start applying for much as you can, and also not till next year. Oof. Sounds like they're trying to rip you off a little bit. Then if they want to give you more responsibility but not more pay, I hate that kind of stuff. I really do. These special effects are getting very intense. What happened to the days of two guys playing opposite ends of the same horse? Also, where'd everybody go? Considering that you're now the lead engineer for test engineering in the CCA, yeah, that's a level 3 position and you're level 1. Oh, wow. Yeah, I would say it's due for you to get a pay increase. Especially if you're doing the responsibilities of a position well above you. The trapdoor is the only way out, so it seems like it'd be a tight squeeze. It swings open easily. The pit below is black as night. I reach around with my legs until I find the ladder down, trying not to imagine how it would feel to fall 40 feet straight down into the dark. The things I do for closure. Ha ha ha. Maybe, but you also need a job that works with your master's degree as well. That is fair. I'll just go a little bit and then climb back up. Potsy's death may have to go unavenged after all. Sorry, babe, they can't all be winners. Some kind of black tar is slowly trickling down the walls and across the floor. Am I beneath one of the prop workshops right now? Should I have brought a hat? page from the script has been pinned to the wall. Looks like it could be from a different version, though. Our look is dark, our light is inside us, we are warmed by the dead udder of the red dawn. Brr, brr. This is a big, heartwarming musical number of the show, much like Tomorrow Is an Annie. Dancers should be sure to sell their enthusiasm for the death of the sun as much as possible. Jesus. Doesn't sound very heartwarming. In theater lingo, this is known as a spooky puppet room. Their blank and staring faces are slowly being covered by the tar. It's not great. This is why storage is important. Oh boy, unsorted props. Let's see here. Rubber head, plastic knife, Dracula fang, leather gloves. They look pretty new. Have they been used yet, or is that yet still to come? What's in here? Ah! Ugh, costumes. Wait. Don't think he saw me. Well, you know how it is, these big actors. You don't want to get in their way, but I wonder where he was going to. Mysteries upon mysteries. Yeah, BB is really fascinating. She has a very laissez-faire attitude about a lot of this. Lying crushed in the tar at the end of the corridor is a puppet that looks just like the famous theater founder and playwright, John Beats. As I said, not great. I can no longer tell where I am in relation to the theater, but I hear singing. Did the play move down here after all? Shouldn't I have passed a concession stand by now? Greetings, prisoner man. This is BB from the props department. Don't mind me, I'm just here to fix the cages. But are they actually puppets? That's the thing I'm wondering is, I'm kind of wondering if a lot of like the stage producers and productions are just puppets. And now like, this is actually like a thing, like a prison for prison man. As I see, a concrete house, you say. This sounds to be above my pay grade. I'll have to talk to my line manager about that one. Son, you kept giving birth to passions and burn with fiery rays. We'll wrap you in a dusty veil and encase you in a concrete house. Stamped with sealing wax, it is a ripened victory. Now everything is trifling to us. The sun lies slain at our feet. Yes, well, right here's your problem. Someone's been painting the eyes and teeth over the prison walls. I'd better call it into HQ. Please don't worry, it will not impact your deposit. Let's see. That's Count Masco right there. Count Masco? Who are you? Get out of here, you idiot. They're changing the script. What? Speaking of the script. No, please! Aye! That cage was made out of balsa wood. You could walk through it. Is nobody in the show capable of breaking character even for a second? This is what I get for trying to understand theater. Never again. From now on, I only play video games. What's behind all these curtains anyway? We're underground. Plush seating and bags of popcorn. Popcorn is still warm. Wait, are there people watching me from here? Annoyed, I eat some popcorn as emotional recompense. Okay. Can't believe I got drafted into this shit for a whole month. What about my needs? I'm supposed to be writing a zine about haunted mannequins or something by now. Ooh, reflections now. I'm more concerned that the disability access ramps exceed the prescribed degree of elevation. Goodness. That's actually really funny. Good grief. These are some of the worst bear costumes I've ever seen. Where's the exit anyway? Maybe that guy knows. So we're just gonna follow a guy in a bear costume. Sure. I could have sworn I saw him go this way. There's no way someone could just disappear. Hey, it's the cool cop. I knew he was a killer, a murderer. Hello. Ah! Shh, calm down. It's okay. We can explain. It's okay. Shh, let us explain. Okay, explain it already. Well, we're the police, and we're chopping people apart with these power tools. That doesn't help. Shh, it's okay. Listen, I hear you. I know this must all seem very scary and strange. I feel your pain. In fact, I agree with you. You shouldn't have to see this. What a world. Don't get stressed. They'll never find you, so it won't be like you died exactly. You'll just have disappeared, which is the best anyone can hope for in this life. Oops, one of the sandbags slipped. My bad. Haha, everyone okay? Boss, she's escaping in the tumult. Okay, let's follow her, but nobody gets stressed about this. It's important to have a healthy work-life balance. Let's all do our motivational group chant first. Help, these guys in bear costumes are trying to murder me. So I'm just gonna keep running away. I'm not gonna get got like I typically did. Yes, who is it? Director Bosco, I found a health and safety issue that you might really want to address. Just a second, I'm getting changed. It's BB, right? From the party scene? Yes, I mean I had to step out for a minute. Don't worry about it. I've actually been meaning to grab you for a quick chat myself. Did you know that we have some acquaintances in common? It turns out they used to live near your apartment complex. This is like Daggerfall. I don't know if it's quite like Daggerfall, but I can kind of see how it would have that effect. They did? Oh yes, they wore long robes and hoods and were mysteriously murdered when someone turned off the building's security system. About that, you know, it's pretty dark in here, and I thought this must be the light switch. So he was a part of that group of people who were all those intellectual losers who were like a snuff academics. Now, don't grovel. You did us a favor there. Frankly, we've been meaning to clean shop for quite a while. The risk of franchising is that sometimes it dilutes the message. Besides, the CCTV footage from that night made a tidy profit when it was released as the next installment to our Bloody Night series of video-on-demand horror films. Critics have favorably compared it to Evil Bong 2. You know, I didn't realize it, Seth, but that robe very well might be a reference to Manos, the Hands of Fate, for sure. Also, the fact that they're comparing the CCTV footage of her escape from that snuff cult is very funny that they're comparing it to Evil Bong 2, which is just a really shitty horror film. Wait, I don't even get residuals? Oh, nobody watches these things for the cast. What matters is the directorial vision. Stretch? Absolutely. I'll get a stretch in. Oh, and a hydrate. Absolutely. Don't you just love found footage? Wait, this doesn't even explain anything. Isn't immersive theater just a front for the police? No, it's more like the other way around. The police are part of the immersive theater, as are the audience, as are you. My patrons have simple tastes. They like prisons, murder, violent death. The generous funding keeps the play growing, into room after room, street after street. Why not? They already own the city. Now they get to look at it as well as peeking from behind the curtain. Say hello to the Art Appreciators Club. Goodness. The sun has hidden, darkness has begun. Let us take knives and wait locked up. Holiday should be established. The day of the victory over the sun. Listen to the mort of life, the horns of death ringing in the woods. Sleep to waken with the sun, mirror of the black earth, Caesar. The universe being a prison, it is my duty to build smaller prisons in hopes that doing so will grant me insight of the sacred geometry of heaven. To rule each prison, there must be a warden whose secrecy, caprice, and limitless capacity for violence act as an image of the fates, to be studied and interpreted by those interred by his baleful rule. Caesar, Caesar, we who are dead salute you. Caesar, Caesar, we who are dead salute you. So that looks like the killer, and that looks like the sun and the moon. Poor blimey. Now this is a rum how do you do? Well, BB, what did you think of the play? The parts I understood, I didn't like. Can I go now? Of course. Wait, I nearly forgot. Your paycheck is ready as well. What? $20! Welcome to the arts economy. And with that, my time in the immersive theater came to a close. That one was interesting, but I still think I preferred episode 3 more. That was very artistic, to be sure. But I don't also really understand what it was trying to say for the narrative as a whole. But I suppose that's artistic vision for you. No one understands art. Alright, I know the next one is Flesh of the Killer. So we'll go to that one. And let me just update the stream information. Okay, got that updated. And we're back. So let's see how this episode goes. Oh, are there going to be more characters? Ooh, we get another little cutscene set up. The coast is clear. You like the main characters changing outfits? It is interesting to see them have a different outfit. Up this way. Stop treading on my robe. That didn't help. There's some high quality crates. This must be how rich people live. Which direction were we going again? BB, hurry up with that light. Execute Omega Tactics. I don't know what that means. Don't yell at me. That's just like being in a bank. Well, we kind of are. Those are the aesthetics of power. Stay alert. Can't believe there's been no security so far. If I had stuff stored here, I'd be really irate. I'm getting the impression that we're committing an art theft now? Stay alert. We're too conspicuous out here. You were the one who insisted all dress this way. What are we even meant to be? I thought more of these statues would have had heads. That's why we're disguised as virtues, to blend in. Wait, we are? Which virtues? Let me see, there's Dusty, Gummo, Jurisprudence, the one with the hair. Anyway, we're wasting time. Let's keep going. Boy, they really went all out. I thought this place was meant to be a secret. Well, not to everyone. No authorized access. Oops, I guess we should just head home. No, I saved weeks for that big crate. Is this meant to be Hercules? He looks a little off-brand. Probably one of the donors. Being portrayed as a god is one of the traditional benefits of arts patronage. If either of you want a Hercule Sono, let me know. I'm friends with a guy online. Oh god. A Hercule Sona. Hey, the stupid golden elevator's cordoned off. Leave it. What we should want should be right down the stairs. It's here. I knew it'd be here. Okay, what are they trying... This is an art heist. Museum of Moral Art. The legends were true. BB, do the lead-in we talked about. On March XXXX, an expedition was assembled to confirm the existence of an urban legend. In a tax-exempt free port just outside the city, artworks are being stored for display in a private museum. Here, to shine light on a murkier than normal corner of the arts world, are representatives of the major fields: photography, art history, relational aesthetics, and zines. If you need some artwork, I know a few first. I know a few of them too. Okay, yeah. For some reason, I thought it wasn't tracking my audio anymore. All findings to be submitted as an end-of-term group assignment for community college of 20 credits. Nice. Well, I hate to admit it, but this place is really very swish. I can feel my culture level rising just from walking around. The hallway's paintings have a Vanitas theme in homage to the erotic skull art of yesteryear. Dude, 20 credits. I know, right? That's actually a lot of college credits. The catalog mostly lists assembled masterpieces. Skull with ball, skull with fruit basket, skull with flesh. A devastating rebuke to the vanity and transitoriness of having flesh. How many of these are there? Tasteful plaque acknowledges tax-deductible charity donations from the Zacklers, an opioid industry aflame. Wait, that can't be right. Zacklers? They changed their name to seem relatable to younger juries. Jesus. What's this one called? Roldo Skulls by MT Lot? Yes, well, it's good to have a theme. It's good fun to have a theme, rather. Apparently moral art is going through a boom period right now on account of all the murders. Who says there's no ethical way to make money? Wonder how much these are all worth. Wash your hands. Certificates of provenance hang discreetly on the walls to let you know you're not being imbued with any counterfeit morals. Some of the countries these were taken from no longer exist. You kinda like it? You'd add it to your deviant faves? Oh goodness. Man, that's a website that I'm still surprised still exists. I figured DeviantArt would have, like, fallen by the wayside a while ago. The canvases all come pre-enclosed in little Ziploc wrapping to prevent scuffs during trades and resells. The little touches are always what you're paying for. Isn't that comic books? The AI art boom is helping it survive. Ugh. Just hearing that makes me sad a little. Clowns regard me from north, south, east, and west. I guess this place is still enough of a traditional museum to have a cursed-feeling children's recreational area. Hey, BB, check it out. It's a collection of a children's book illustration. Look, here's 4 children in Lamassu. Is that the one where they all get hit by a truck on entering puberty? Oh god. Is that a reference to Big Mouth? This one looks familiar. Isn't this Pleasant Child and Horrible Child? My favorite was always the Horrible Child. That's Goofus and Gallant. Looks like we need a pass to get through the door, but you're able to pick locks, right? Why would you think that? I must admit, I could get used to a museum without any crowds. Even the security system seems very discreet. I could really believe we were the only living people here. I actually do like this, like, diamond-tiered flooring. It does look pretty nice. I always thought art had to be stored in the cord, but the air in here is tropical and humid. Like being in a reptile house. Maybe they're trying out a new technique. Mistrust the stranger. Another themed collection. Mistrust the stranger. Look out for a stranger. Who's there? A stranger. Hand taps your shoulder. It's the stranger. All the hits. You've got the classic checker pattern in here. I wonder if being around all these paintings is making you more moral. Maybe they make you sign a waiver if you work here, just in case. Certain artwork has to be held in certain conditions, some more humid and warm than others. I believe it. It probably just depends on the medium. Yeah, I recognize this. Klopstock's 3 owls impaling a naked woman on a sword. It's on loan from the lobby of the police department. Oh, I hate these ones. There was a print in my bedroom when I was a kid. I always thought the elephant changed position a bit whenever I looked the other way. I always thought they were weird. What are they even meant to represent? Well, there's a story that if you hold your hand out to an elephant, it will place its paw softly on yours and look you dead in the eye. Police department? Raccoon City, anyone? I mean, the police department in Raccoon City was pretty much just a corporate op. If you're a good person, it will simply shake your hand. But if you're a bad person, it will stomp down and maim you instantly. I used to have nightmares about it. What's moral to an elephant? Anyway, Claude says it's probably just a metaphor for man's dominion over the earth or something. No, it sounds real. I've watched a documentary about this. Wait, was the building for Raccoon City Police Department originally a museum? I never knew that, actually. A sign on the wall announces that this is the Hall of the Morally Improving Mechanisms. I hope they at least rinse these things out before display. Oh boy, new media. This one is a cabinet for One Paku Dead Wife, the video game that makes you cry, from medium auteur Joe Groan. How many dead wives can you collect? I think my top score is 8. Jeez. I don't know if that's a reference to anything. Instructive moral diorama from the 19th century, depicting the doleful fates of those who commit simony? What is on this side? Cabinet 28 of 246. Please insert coin. Morality Animal by M.T. Lott. The plinth is empty. Is this kind of conceptual gesture a little played out? This part feels like a storage area, but for pieces that were insufficiently good or insufficiently moral. Or what? Oh hey, someone left their second floor keycard around. Maybe they were overcome by aesthetic effect. Over here are some haphazard paintings of people in security uniforms, smiling and playing the harp. Well, at least I can see why these didn't make the cut. Interesting. It was the in-game reason why it has so many strange rooms and out-of-place things. They were just leftovers from its previous incarnation. You know, that makes a lot of sense. I'm also... Max, are you still here? Why is everything knocked about? Shh. This is exactly why I prefer to go off by myself. I think Max might have been grabbed by the elephant. Must admit. But yeah, I was gonna say, I believe my friend Looney actually probably did know that as well. I don't recall it, so maybe Looney didn't? Okay, so now we have the key card, so we can go in here now. Pondering the Immutable by M.T. Lott. There sure are a lot of paintings by this guy. No surprise, ever since his first appearance, M.T. Lott was recognized as one of the leading lights of neo-moral art. His work includes refreshing updates on the classic motifs, knife safety, don't wake papa, repayment of a debt. A cynical age was won over anew by the elegance of these simple but lasting moral themes. Goodness. What happened to him? Well, he was eventually arrested for eating a woman. But that doesn't mean his work has nothing to teach us. Seems like it might just be a hypocrite then. Incidentally, isn't putting a moral art museum inside of a Freeport kind of a mixed message? Well, traditionally tax evasion counts as a political issue rather than a moral one. How about trespassing? That one's actually moral again. These really get you coming and going with these things. Man, it smells rank in here. I wonder if this is some secret kind of art preservation strategy. Well, that's what we're here to learn. Susanna and the Stranglers, a new MT Lott. I never heard of that one. Wonder if it was found after his death. Oh, the paint is still wet. But can we see? Guess not really. Camera angle got a little weird. I thought we might have some kind of trouble. Just leave this guy to me. Gonna get you, man. I was the #1 delinquent of my Hans Obrist reading group. And he's eaten. That's not good. You think you're gonna head out for now? Have to get back to work? No problem. Please rest well, Travis. What is this? Why am I holding a vase? I'm sure there's a good reason for this. Best of all possible worlds. Now I better get back to my tour. There are 88,000 more rooms in the Pantheon to see. Goodness. Such poignance and elegance in these statues. How beautiful in every respect. It makes me want to scream and I don't know why. I guess that's what they mean by disinterested contemplation. Though everything here is as beautiful and classical as can be, I'm starting to feel a little unease. I don't remember how I got in here, and there seems to be no exit. Also, who's making that sound? Nice hands, let me eat. Yum yum. Hate it. Hate it! Wait, did I just fall out of a painting? I prefer not to think about that. Right now, I just want to escape from the museum before I end up in an award-winning traveling corpse exhibition. So, Haunted Museum. Got it. There's Max and Ray, but the paintings are too high up for me to get at by myself. I hope they're trapped in better versions of the good than I was, at least. Seems BB here lives in a very surreal world. Wet paint mixed into multicolored sludge drips down the walls. Inscrutable moral tableau can be dimly glimpsed underneath. I can hear gloved hands scuttling on marble tile. Lobby misshapen pseudo BBs grin back at me from all the walls, holding tennis rackets, tiny dogs, frozen images of my own best life. Did I escape in the middle of a conversion to a moral icon? Smiling reflections reach toward me from every side. For a second, I want to climb back into the canvas. Maybe all that stops me is a deep desire to remain annoying instead. Is this door or just a painting of a door? I guess I walked into that. Is this a different paint world? The air here feels less reverent, thick with smoke and a smell like rotten eggs. In their filthy cave outside the good there lurk the strangers, waiting to commit unspeakable crimes for unintelligible reasons. They watch me but make no move to chase, busy haunting the doors of the ideal. There's a statue of the killer right there as well, it seems. I climb back out. I'm in some kind of boardroom, part of the Freeport's executive suite. Managers hang upon the walls. Mean ex-cops and art world toadies, locked in moral display. Over here are pictures of the board of directors, anonymized to protect the safety of the city's leading families. Still, the glaring red eyes are sort of familiar. Yeah, that looks like all of the people from the call center. Mission statement. The horrible murders the city have driven renewed interest in moral ideas. Protect existing investment, a vault, a marvelous vault, secures the eternal verities from tax responsibility. There is some comfort to know that even when everybody is dead, morality can last forever. A little display full of corporate promo materials. They look extremely unread. Yeah, this sounds a little too relevant for modern times. Aye, not yet, not yet. Wait, BB, is that you? Bud, hey, I'm glad you're alright. I wasn't sure whether or not you, why are you whipping yourself with what looks like a security lanyard? Well, the thing that got Ray was some kind of morality robot, right? So I thought maybe if the rest of us, like, repented and tried to adopt its teachings... I'm not taking moral lessons from a mechanical lion. It hasn't even been elected. How come nobody in this town can go 10 minutes without starting a cult? We'll go find Ray and Max quick, then vamoose. I thought they'd both been turned into paintings. Not so bad, it gives you a new perspective. More paintings. I wonder if being trapped inside these things is some kind of ironic punishment for trespassing in the museum. World of morality weirdly resembles that of a cheap slasher films, huh? Jeez. Oh. It's not moving. It probably won't just murder us, right? Most moral outlooks come down pretty hard on that. If a lion could have morals, I don't think we'd understand that. Back away and don't make eye contact. At the moment of moral awakening occurred after the artist watched 1,000 hours of children's cartoons on a dare. Realizing morality was too important to be left to human fallibility, he set about embodying it in immortal objects known as works of art. Using capital acquired from his many supporters in the NGO space, he soon began to work on his most ambitious project yet, the unfinished remains of his work. Oh goodness. Hey, the canvases in here were all stripped bare. Well, except for that one. Garden 2 by MT Lot. Is it me or does this one seem a lot more worked than the others? And I guess we got grabbed and put into it. Uh-oh. Realism. The lion's guard in the air is clear and smells like drying blood. Flower stalks are shaking in the lack of wind. Somebody is looking at me I can't see. Somebody is looking to eat me. Garden is well tended, but not for me. I can glimpse the rightful owner stalking around through the grass. I know there are more lions since I can't see them. Something close is licking blood off its jaws. The statuary here is jumbled, but offers no place a paw can't reach. Marble faces watch me with the eyes of lions. Something behind me climbs out the rubble and slinks away. Carefully, I avert my eye. It's not hot here, but it's close, and without realizing, I'm covered in sweat, plastering my hair down and falling in my eyes. My back is sore, and I realize I've been tensing it, waiting for the pounce. Hey, it's Vivi. I thought the elephant got you. Let's not talk about the elephant. What are you guys up to? Waiting to die? I wonder what happens when you die here. Do you just become another moral pop, like all the vases, cherubs, bowls of fruit, circulating endlessly from painting to painting? Wait, so you think the lion just responds to moral iconography without knowing what any of it means? It's just mechanical pattern recognition? I don't know, I was just sort of complaining. Sire, greetings. You're just in time for the opening act of an instructive moral play. Would you like to sit in on the first act? Very well, esteemed parent. With courtesy and desire for self-betterment, I ask thee, what is it that is best in life? For thee, son, deference to duly constituted authority is the first step on the path of wisdom. The most important thing of all is, wash your hands. Wasn't that beautiful? Perhaps, with patience and compassion, we may all someday... Now, Ray, now! It's me, the horrible child! Quickly, hit it while it's down. Six Simper! The last king with the entrails of the last prince. Get his ass! Okay. I like the subversion on this one. How long does it take to beat a robot to death? The answer may surprise you. You know, despite everything, I still find myself drawn to these. Portraits of the good, the right life congealed in an inert, frozen object world, safe from the back and forth of creaturely existence. Snapshots from a place as alien to us as the canyons of Mars. Who are you talking to? Come on, we found a fire exit. For real? Well, never mind. Before leaving, we took stock. There wasn't much left standing in the Freeport where the lion had passed. I was sort of worried we accidentally wiped out the international art market in the tumult, but according to the papers, the paintings continued to be bought and sold as though nothing had changed. MT Lot's influence continued to spread. There was even a children's cartoon to better convey his moral teachings in contemporary form. This adaptation was mostly known for the volume and variety of pornographic fan art it inspired. Wow, is that a dig at the furry fandom? It kind of feels like it is a little bit. That was kind of an interesting change of pace. I'll say that much, at the very least. This is kind of... How much were the tickets again? I am becoming increasingly skeptical that all the young people love it. Okay. Well, Blood of the Killer seems to be the next one. Let me update. Okay, got that updated. And then let's just move right on. Interesting cover. Let's get into it. Blood of the Killer. There's the killer right there. So is this a hub world and these are different game executables? So initially, from what I understand, Seth, is that These were all individual games that were released shortly one after another. And I think it was like sometime last year that they were all packaged into one big executable called the Anthology of the Killer, which is what this is, and it's on Steam. I think it might be on itch.io as well, but I do know that the individual games are also on itch.io as well. All right. Just a regular night in the big city. Yes, that's what I'll say. They don't know I'm delivering a package. What's inside, I'll never tell. I feel it moving softly in my pocket. That's regular. Don't think about it. This one's a little... Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Don't think about it. Ugh. Oh, that's right. I meant to try looking it up next time I had one of those dreams. Dream Interpretation Guide 5th Edition Travel Guide. Dream of snakes, a lucky dream which portends success in business and in snakes. Dream of water. Like the water, you too shall receive a lottery jackpot dividends. Dream of delivering a package. Violent death impending. Don't make plans. I think it's a hair bow. I think BB has a hair bow. BB's report. It's 10 a.m. and I'm heading out of the city to investigate a zine deal gone wrong. In the small town of Rivertown, a new distro was started with the assistance from XX City, but recently communiques from the town have stopped appearing. As the only one who has a rail card, I was appointed to re-establish contact and report on the progress of the scheme. Name of my contact is Clarice. Next stop is Rivertown. The final stop is Rivertown. This train no longer stops at Factory. Or one of those large clawed hair clips. Yeah, it might be one of those too. You saw one today on a person that was designed as a flower. Very, very cute. Oh, nice. I mean, it sounds fine, but what do I do if she's just been too busy to call? Break her legs? Alas, our organizational charter commits us to accountability in the scene. I've never been out here before. Maybe I should try to be more worldly. People are staring at me in the station, so I smile and wave back. It's how you do things in the country. Welcome to Rivertown, home of the Drinky Bird. Visit world's largest drinky bird while you're here. Wow, you see? This is what you find when you take the time to expand your horizon. Yeah, there is a lot of bird motifs here. The statue commemorates the 200 workers incinerated by the Great Drinky Bird Factory fire of 19XX. On the other hand, tourist stuff is pretty much the same all over. In brochure speak, this town is picturesque. I'll find out what that means someday. Houses are pretty, but half the doorways are bricked up, as if this place were set on becoming its own shrine. Well, I'm here. Well, Clarice's place isn't far, but I don't even have her number. Wouldn't it be weird if I just show up? Maybe I should buy her a sandwich or something as well. Drinky birds and fire seems like an oxymoron. A little bit. Rows of wooden, unfunctional little drinky bird statuettes are the only things for sale out of the street chaos. Are these things a lost technology? Maybe they keep the real ones for connoisseurs. A beautiful remnant of the town's prosperous heyday, sealed and preserved by the Historical Society. Well, the bricks are a bit much, but I guess I can't blame them for being thorough. I've never seen one of those drinking birds either, but I've seen them in lots of pop culture and media. Beneath me is the town's famous river. The Urk, stained red by generations of opaque industrial processes. Real taste of the pastoral. I wonder if I can get a postcard while I'm here. You used to have a vintage one? As a kid? When I visit somewhere new, I always find myself imagining what it'd be like if I lived there. If this road were the one I walk down every day, expected and invisible. Same trips to the shops and the bus stop, only now infused with mystery. Like, I could be looking at my life from the outside as if I were myself to become a stranger. And then you broke it to see how it worked. I would do stuff like that as a kid all the time. I would break my toys to try and figure out how they worked. And then I'd try to put them back together, and I usually never did it right. I wonder if watching Gilmore Girls has given me inflated expectations around small-town life. Anyway, if I have these directions right, Clarice's apartment should be right in the middle of that smoldering wreckage. Uh-oh. Bird Town number 1, history issue. Oh man, poor Clarice. I hope she got out in time. And then we're getting grabbed. Don't worry, I'm a murderer. You always put yours back together, but you always had more pieces left over than when you start. Oh no! Boy, I was surprised they sent 2 of us out here. I guess this town must be a bigger deal than it looks. Incidentally, where's your mask? I'm incognito. So BB here just got mistaken for being a murderer. Oh, good news. I'm nearly through with my report. Yep, the case is very nearly closed. Maybe you wasted a trip. Haha, just 1 or 2 loose ends. Listen, here's a list of other places on the same supply chain. Check them out and try to re-establish contact. And don't tell anyone who isn't a murderer, or I'll have to beat them slowly to death with a hammer. On second thought, tell whoever you like. Gee, thanks. Well, I better go. Safe, unsafe travels. Unsafe. Wow, what a pro. Was that Clarice? And what was that all about? Is that guy looking for Clarice? It didn't seem like a good time to ask him to clarify. Well, it's not like I do have any other leads, and some of these do seem like a place you might drop off a zine. This is interesting. I get to pick destinations that I want to go to now? Alright, well, let's just go to the record store. Excuse me, would there be a record store around here? Follow the smoke. Oh. Well, he may have exaggerated. We drop by the coffee cup and have a spa day. Oh man, I could really go for some like really good like French vanilla coffee. The smoke here will have already disappeared, along with the owners, melted 78s from thick black puddles in the air. Lou D. Hans and his Night Stranglers. Wish I had a chance to poke around in here before it burned. You could find good stuff in these little record stores. Never heard of these bands. Sturdy if charred brick passage stretches out behind a collapsed shelf. Is this the way to in the employee lounge? It's probably not the lounge. The air feels different. Like I've walked into a much larger structure. Is this a transport tunnel or something? What's with all the crates? Tightly packed bundles of rubber horror mask. Sticker on the side reads XX City, but is it from or to? Hey Mandy, I'm thinking aloud, but wouldn't it be a lot easier if we follow this girl if we just broke both of her legs? I mean, as inconspicuously as possible. That's a good point, Handy, but we've got to stay undetected. I've got it. Let's kill her first. Then we can break her legs and follow her around. Wait, hold on. I feel like we're missing something here, but what? But what? How many possible combinations are there for A, killing her, B, breaking her legs, C, following her around? Maybe we could experiment until we found one that felt right in the moment. I see, an iterative approach. Well, that's 6 possibilities unless we do some of them more than once. But does the perfect combination really exist? Handy, I want to believe it does.
Hello!
Jesus, that actually scared me a little bit. Aren't you just the cutest little murderer? Yes, you are. You're going to be executed for your crimes against history. Yes, you will. With a protagonist that keeps respawning, the possibilities are near unlimitless. Stop that. Wait, why does everybody in this town think I'm a murderer? Is it just a coat? No use denying it. We've already seen you around with the notorious criminal Murderer X. Also, we've been reading your zine, a truly heinous document that records your many crimes. July 3rd, Cannibal Blood Feast. July 10th, more knife murders. July 13th, decomposing corpse. Those are bands. It's called a scene report. Wait, also, did you really read my zine? Like, all of it? What did you think? A little prolix? That's not a problem you'll have anymore. Everyone's a critic. Oh! I got grabbed. Well, might as well prep her for surgery. Hey, Handy, how do you tell the difference between a vein and an artery again? Very messily. Wait a minute. Eyes. What? If we pull out her eyes, then she can't see us when we break her legs. This changes everything. We'll have to redo our figures. What on earth are you talking about? Looking at that, you let her get away. That's alright, we have all the time in the world. What's important is coming up with a plan. A beautiful plan. I didn't learn anything from that, but the next place I go to will have some answers. Okay, I legitimately did jump a little bit from that. John's secret history is at the junk store. That's what I'd say if I hadn't accepted my own rat-like impulse to dig around in piles of used clutter by now. Still, you find things out. Entering crate mode, I rummage and discover cookery books, bits of wire, machine parts, old video game consoles, used medical textbooks with horrifying illustrations. Search goes on. Anthologies of inscrutable political cartoons, mushy golf balls, old newspapers with rambling letters to the editor from a concerned citizen, rubber spider, scratch that, regular spider. I know, right? I was immediately more interested in the old video game consoles. Underneath the Bort dolls, I pull out a box of ancient Dricky bird figurines, but whatever strange alchemically once made them drink has long departed. Sweet bird of youth. Nobody glances at me as I explore, which is possibly some roundabout way of asserting vendor's dominance. Well, there's no sign on the warehouse on the back to say it's not part of the sale area. Goodness. Wonder if they keep the good stuff back here. Fragments of decrepit industrial machinery are stacked haphazardly around the corner. Probably this is good stuff to someone. Drawers of the old office desk are stuffed with rotting mulched receipts. The header on one reads, Golden Bird Company LLC. Are all these from the Drinky Bird place? They really tried to scale. Old cogs and rubber casting trays. The outline printed on them seems familiar, like a face I glimpsed once in a dream. I'll take the Abrams tank for 50 cents. I don't know what an Abrams tank is, admittedly, but I still think that's kind of a funny joke. At the back of the last table I find a binder. The words, Drinky Bird Mark II production notes are written in Bureau on the spine. I open up and find some kind of crazed essay about sword fighting a bear. What? We see that in the organic world, to the same degree that reflection gets darker and weaker, grace grows ever more radiant and dominant. But just as two lines intersect on one side of the point, after passing through infinity, suddenly come together again on the other side, where the image in a concave mirror suddenly reappears before us after drawing away into the infinite distance. So too does grace return once perception has traversed the infinite, such that it simultaneously appears the purest in human bodily structures that are either devoid of consciousness or which possess an infinite consciousness, such as the jointed mannequin or the god. Well, I think we just read that essay. Is that Clarice? Clarice? Wait. I get the impression that Clarice might be an automated drinky bird. Yeah, I'm getting that okay, I'm controlling Clarice. Never mind. Hey, a portrait of the killer. So was that Clarice or not? Maybe she just didn't recognize me? Okay, well there's only one place left. You know, not to sound jaded, but I feel like I will already have a good idea which building here will turn out to have been the book depository. Doesn't this place have a fire department? To be honest, you never trusted birds? Oh goodness. Mysteriously uncharged pages in the wreckage. Were they placed here after the fire? What do they say? True Secret History of the Murderers and Wreckers by a Concerned Citizen. Record history of the murders and wreckers, that is, the false history which stands in place of the true history, evident to the merest child, is that false history which the wreckers and murderers seeks to substitute for the glorious true history of the world. The truth of history is a beautiful house filled with statues, etc., and it is the people without history, the murderers and wreckers and conspirators, who stand outside this house and try to break in through the windows in order to replace everything with their disease history and their record history, which a child can tell is the false history, but which nevertheless is passed to us as the real history, and the true as opposed to the really true, and the truly real history, which is that of the houses and the monuments and factories and statues and beauty and truth and such like, which again a simple child can detect and point to and say that this is true, this is mine, this is the true history passed on to me by my father who is dead. To betray the true history, to imply our fathers had passed to us the false coin of the false history as our glorious inheritance, is the ultimate betrayal, and it is the rejection of this betrayal of our fathers that we identify and reject the false history of the non-fathers of the wreckers, murderers, etc., from the outside of history, the dismal room outside the grand and meaningful museum of world history, filled with monuments, etc., built by our fathers, our duty, our inheritance to maintain this inheritance, and reject the false inheritance of the murder history that the murderers and wreckers insinuate is the true history, the real history, but which we ourselves know for certain is the opposite of true history. It is the false history and the false coin that diminishes the coin inheritance, the great history of our fathers and their coins and inheritances, etc. I felt like I just took psychic damage from that. Hey! Wait a minute, come back here. This guy running away from me. On the other hand, why am I chasing him? Well, I must admit, it makes a nice change from the usual way around. My vengeance needs blood. Henry James. Return of the Master. The spoils of Pointon. Mine at last. Wait, who's there? It can't be. You're crunching, slippery flesh noises. Nobody appreciates the... My intelligence stat just suffered 2 points of damage from that rant. I felt like that was just madness incarnate, for sure. Wonder where the hat guy went. Is this some kind of private cinema? Decades of moldering promo posters molt off as I pass by. Feels like I'm the only person to be in here for years. Oh hey, it's another one of these. More literary adaptations. Theater sealed as a historical document for the benefit of future generations. Well, as a future generation, I just wish they'd dust. What exactly is this place trying to preserve? Desk in this office is slightly less cobwebby than anything else around. On it, I find a shredded copy of Claris's zine and a flyer for the Rivertown Historical Society. I did want to visit some of the tourist stuff while I was here. It's preserving dust. Okay, if this is a photo of Clarice, then maybe she was wearing a bird mask? Well, there's literally only one place left to go again. After wandering down alleys, I eventually tracked down the Rivertown Historical Society. It's pokier than I was expecting. Coffee cup. I did try to go to it the first time. Guess it's plusher on the inside. Glass bird eyes stare back at me from every corner of the room. Is this history? Therefore I have sailed the seas and come to the holy city of Byzantium. Welcome, welcome, lover of history. Welcome to the Museum of Mechanical Birds. Yes, yes, more than just drinky birds. Though they form the firm foundation on which our fair town is built, we must strive to see beyond them, move beyond them as our fathers did, yes. Apologies, you just want coffee, but it's too late in the evening for you to have one. I know the feeling. I know it very well. If you have decaf coffee, you might want to try that. I'm probably going to get myself some chai tea once the stream is over with. The immortal golden bird. Glory of changelessness metal. Well, plastic, haha, but the tradition remains the same. Alive, vital, living, unliving. Images of grace, images of fear. Machines of burnished gold adorned the great court of Byzantium, and their function was to terrify, to demonstrate wealth and skill, and suggest these things might be turned upon the viewer. Haha. Decaf Dunkin's more expensive than regular, sadly. Really? Also, I don't know, do you have a coffee machine at home that you can brew with? Just get like a big old tin of like decaf or regular coffee? Save a little bit money. That's typically what I do, is I just brew coffee at home. Typically. Beautiful tradition that continues on today. Contemporary mechanical birds include the military-industrial complex, video games, and the internet. Yet more might we find by following this river to the source. Uh-oh. Portraits of the killer. At points of widening income disparity, similar icons are always required, and so the fathers, my fathers, decided to sake our novelty amusements factory in a new direction, one of which could catch and manifest the shape of history, new birds for a new age. You actually brew your own from pre-ground. Your preferred brand is Dunkin' because it's not bitter. Oh, wow. Yes, then what happened? Last, the factory burned down after the construction of the first prototype Drinky Bird Mark II. The town was never the same, but I still think we'll catch the culprit someday, ha ha ha. Don't you put your name and address in the guest book? Commemorative t-shirt, ashtray mug? It's a mechanical bird thing, you wouldn't understand. And I'm never gonna wear this shirt. Attention, patrons. Attention. Don't get up. Open mic time is about to begin. Oh look, she's drinking coffee herself. Please enjoy the first act in an hour of amateur musical stylings. Take a walk downtown and find some time to look around. You see me and I walk on by. Oh darling, please don't cry. Tonight we'll meet. At the dark end of the street. You and me. Nearly getting killed is bad enough without having to listen musical numbers about it. I've been here all day, and what did I even accomplish? I'm sick of it. I'm going home. Finally, a cup of coffee. Zine community will have to cut their losses. What do I pay my dues for anyway? Admittedly, the tote bag is kind of cute. Nevertheless, I'm out of here. Cup of coffee says the fire was caused by the prototype itself. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Train pulls up just as I reach the station and I hop aboard. Great. Didn't find out what happened, but that's just how it goes. That's life. That's how I'll write it up. The seat is the comfiest thing I ever felt. Polyester or something. They should roll me up in this when they put me in the grave. Long, this train is now departing. The next stop is the factory. The final stop is factory. Uh-oh. Tuck and roll, baby. Get off the train. Oh. Wait, don't kill me. Hey, where'd they go? I don't know where I am, but I appear to have both eyes and most of my blood. Are those two just posers after all? Cool night breeze comes in the open door. Oh yeah. Admittedly, that was kind of tense. Statues submerged in ivy heaped on the lawn. Unlit factory buildings spread out in the distance, leading inexorably towards the mansion on the hill. Doors wide open. Aren't they afraid somebody might steal all their clocks? There's a mimeograph. I always wanted one of those. Smudged carbon copies are piled ankle deep across the floor, sternly announcing the dangers of unfettered mimography. What did the letter say? Dear Serge, first my warm compliments upon the previous day's Mary Worth cartoon. I found both delightful and instructive. I enclosed more ideas. Oh no. However, I note with dismay your decision to not comment upon the increasingly outrageous price of cinema popcorn, a scourge which perhaps funds drug or gang activity. Oh no. Line of moral values, rivers of blood. Can they legally call it a Happy Meal if eating one makes me depressed? Please print this letter. Faithfully yours, a concerned citizen. Wait a minute. These things are blank. Wait a minute. Dear sirs, I hope this epistle finds you well. here's a new idea for a new Maryworth cartoon. Feel free to use. In the cartoon, Maryworth is depressed and sad and down in the dumps about her life, the life that was promised, the life that was had in the ruins of her parents' Drinky Bird factory, the rubble of a dynasty that never came to pass when she starts to read a poorly printed samizdat she picked up at the record store with a sticker on the cover calling it a zine. Actually, can you legally call it a Happy Meal if it makes you depressed? I mean, that's a big question. The zine says that it's about history, and so she reads it, but it is not history. It is a bad dream and a horror story in which all the names and faces she reveres from books and statues reappear instead as torturers and killers, as toadies and functionaries of a charnel house, and as she reads, she feels as though the beautiful history she adores and worships has been replaced by a lake of blood, has no bottom, and she and everyone she knows is sinking in the lake. It is at this point in the great comic strip that Maryworth has a grand realization. She realizes all recorded history is the object of a vast conspiracy, and that the name given this conspiracy is that of Zine. That this conspiracy was the worm in the great apple that is history, and the reason that apple now turns to shit in her mouth. That her life will continue to get worse and worse until the evil conspiracy of wreckers can at last be smashed and killed and put to an end. Please give me credit if you use this cartoon. Constructive feedback welcome. Yours faithfully, Concerned Citizen. I did wonder if it was too good to be true that there are people who actually read these things. So, I'm getting the impression that BB here is finding herself in a, what's the name of that Stephen King story? Oh my god, it's on the tip of my brain. The name of that Stephen King story that I'm trying to reference. Despair? No, I don't think it's called Despair. It's about the author who gets into a car accident and gets kidnapped by a fan of his work and didn't like how the last novel ended and is torturing him to basically make him write a new book for a different ending. And I'm drawing... No, it's not called Mercy. It's called something. It's like on the tip of my brain, and I just can't remember it. Because the name of the book was also the name of the character of the book. It's gonna bother me. But you know what I'm talking about. I'm wondering if BB is finding herself in that situation with this, I'm assuming that this is a Drinky Bird Mark II that goes by the name Clarice. Maybe. Is she asleep? She's not chasing me. I should go, but this is my chance to see if it's really Clarice under that mask. This is a really stupid decision. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Yeah, we made a real mess of her face getting all the pieces inside. You just looked it up? This way, please. Don't worry, she's harmless until you turn the key. Misery! Yes, the character's name was Misery Chastain, or something along those lines. The name of the character inside the narrative. Misery. Yes, oh my god. For some reason, okay, we were both close in our own regards. When you said Mercy, you were close because of the M name, and when I said Despair, I was close to the emotional aspect of it. Oh gosh. She's harmless until you turn the key. Mostly we just hang coats on her and stuff. Oh, looks like the killer is about to wind her up. Right, where'd my coat get to anyway? Oh, it's around here somewhere. Really didn't have the figure for it. It was like chasing around the kid from Don't Look Now. Jesus. Okay, thank you. Next time I'll get all my clothes from the sexy Halloween nurse bin at Party Warehouse instead. Couldn't hurt. Hello. Haha, yes, that's right. I, heir to the Drinky Bird dynasty, am secretly the concerned citizen whose inflammatory pamphlets have been causing such a stir. Don't really care? The Sang-Freud experienced a true revolutionary right down to the classic cell system. Each distro or cadre knows nothing of the others. But you didn't predict what remained of the Drinky Bird Mark II technology could be used to rewire a human brain, a rookie error. You never read the novel, but you watched the movie? You've never watched... Yeah, it is a really hard film, for sure. Like, just very scary, very tense, scary film, for sure. Once we infiltrated the network, it was easy. It was a shame your organization's tendril had reached so many local businesses, but sacrifices must be made. Interestingly, they all had a sign line involving rubber horror masks as well. Coincidence, I guess. Why is that the thing you guys aren't paranoid about? And up here is you, attention caught by all the carnage, a representative of the National Corps sent out to review the situation. Admittedly, I didn't think you'd burn down half the town in the process. Who knows what true depravity works in the criminal soul? Man, I only got here today. I thought you people were the ones burning stuff down. Don't be silly. If not you, then who? Oh, it's the killer. No, it's nothing you have to worry about. Just give me a second, and then this body won't be you anymore. It'll be a new thing that has your face and name. I'm going to use it to kill all your friends. Won't that be nice? Nurses, can you bring the blood bucket before I open her head this time? Nurses? Uh-oh. You deal with it. Do I smell smoke? Well, I guess that would explain it. Incinerating letters to the editor light up the stairs. That's why is fire safety such an issue in this town. Smoke pours through the carpets and twists into strange shapes in the air. Glimpsed figures, vegetable outlines. I hear the pop of drinky birds exploding in their crates. Merging and dissolving in the air, reaching hands, a ghost a staring head, a bloody mask. The history that this guy was so keen on, I don't know if I get the appeal. This is the worst work vacation of my life. I can't believe I didn't even get to see the world's largest drinky bird. You remember mentioning something about the fire mark? Yeah, that was very apt, for sure. Well, hey, it's the killer. He got the other person. Wait, don't. Is that my coat? Thank you, I'm glad you're feeling better. Incidentally, I'm just here to check on that zine distro you were putting together. And I got pushed out the window. Hey Kiki, how's it going? It's great to see you. Don't worry, the killer is just thirsty. Okay, maybe that was pushing it. I hope you're having a great evening, Kiki. It's great to see you. After a while, I made my way off the statue and took the last train home. What remained of the mansion was still burning when I left. I never found out what happened to Clarice, but they say, if you hold a zine event in a quiet country town, she will appear and not buy anything. It goes pretty well. I'm about to wrap up this stream, actually. I think we just finished the 5th episode of the Anthology of the Killer. It's a very, very interesting series of indie horror games. They're very weird and psychedelic. I have a good appreciation for them, and I'm glad that I got to experience them. That's the worst. At least be polite and buy something. I know, right? But yeah, like, this has been very, very interesting. I definitely plan on doing the other half for sure. like the game style. I know horror, but it is a platformer. I don't know if you could describe it as a platformer. I'd say it's kind of just like a general, like, I don't know if you could call it a visual novel either. Because you do have to, like, escape from dangerous situations here and there. I mean, if you get caught, you just have to do it over again. But, like, it's mostly just navigating mazes. So I guess, like, people could derisively call it, like, a walking simulator. But, I'm so glad that you showed up too, Kiki. I really miss having you around. I'm glad that you're doing okay. Goodness. So, man, I definitely want to do this more. So, next week, I plan on doing more streaming again on Tuesday and Wednesday, and Tuesday will be the game list games. And Tuesday, we're going to start... I'm going to go ahead and pull up the game list right now. Tuesday, we are going to be starting Lunacid, which is going to be a first-person RPG-style game that's more in like line to like Kingsfield and other games like that from Software, Shadow Tower, Kingsfield. It's going to be a very atmospheric experience. There's not going to be a lot of like dialogue, I don't think. So I don't know. Like, I will have no problems sharing it, but I hope people will enjoy it because I know I've gotten close to beating it. So I hope that everyone will look forward to that for sure. But yeah, after Lunacid next week, we will finish Anthology of the Killer. We just finished Blood of the Killer, so we'll finish up the last few episodes and see how BB's story ends. With that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and move us to the end. Card right here. And I'm going to give a special thanks to Toby Bento Box for designing all of the pixel art assets that you see on the stream before you. Dad for allowing the use of his music during the use of the stream. Pantry Moth for designing and rigging the VTuber that I use. Oh hey Nap! I'm so glad I could catch you. I'm sorry that that it's the end of the stream. I hope that you had a good night. And of course, the biggest thanks of all, I want to give to each and every one of y'all that hung out and chatted and followed and subscribed and cheered and all of that Twitch engagement nonsense stuff. If y'all are having a good time, then it means I'm definitely having a good time. So, you were listening in the background? Nice! Well, I definitely hope that the game seemed interesting to you for sure. If that's going on, let's see if we can't find someone to raid into. If anyone has any... Oh, you know what? Speaking of Toby, we're going to raid into Toby right now. He's playing Phasmophobia with a couple of his friends. So if you like multiplayer ghost games where they try to solve haunted situations, then this will be for you. Let's go ahead and get that raid started. And I hope to see you all next month. Not next month, next week. Oh my gosh. Take care, everyone. I'll see you next week.